Our students and faculty are pushing the limits of music, dance, and theater all over the world. And with your support, their artistry and ingenuity will see no end. We invite you to explore some of Berklee's current philanthropic priorities and learn about our schools and campuses in Boston and beyond. To learn more, please visit berklee.edu/giving.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Berklee Alumni's Pass the Mic, where we pass the mic to you. I'm Jaquel Illy.
I'm Padriac Pharma.
Yes, and we are in season 3. Yay!
Season 3.
Crazy, right?
You know, I was thinking about how when you're putting something together, you want to make sure that it's replicable for a long term, you know?
Yeah.
And to be on season 3, we've been working on putting together a podcast now for about 4 years. If you give ourselves a year to really like research and plan it and all that stuff. Pretty remarkable. We found the algorithm that we're able to do this.
Right. I feel like we have found our lane and we're dominating in it, if I must say so myself. So it's crazy to think that it's been 4 years and how fast these years pass, and just the amount of conversations we've had, the stuff that we've learned, what we've been able to share and accomplish. It means the world.
Yeah. And the real journey was the friends we made along the way.
The friends and the connections we were able to make with our fellow community members, and just being able to share their stories with each other. So thank you all for joining us on this ride, for encouraging us, for listening, for reaching out and wanting to be participating in it. It really does mean so much to us, and we're so grateful and super excited for you to hear all that's to come in this 3rd season.
You know, we try to step it up every year, but I think we were successful this year. I think we've stepped it up a little. Yes,
the goal is bigger and better every time. So
my favorite part about the podcast is when we're talking to alumni. We just did a pre-interview today, and when we're talking to people and they're trying to figure out what we should talk about, what their story is, it's really refreshing to be able to say, you know, we're not trying to tell a polished story about how there was this gigantic success and, you know, your life just was great after that. You know, I think the part of this is talking about the back and forth of being an artist and working in a creative community, and that can have really beautiful moments and it can have very challenging moments.
Right.
And you can't separate those two. They have to be together. So when we're able to acknowledge the struggle and then see the beauty of having that breakthrough moment, whether it's something that happened for 1 week or something that happened as a step in your career, that's been the great thing that I've really enjoyed about the whole piece.
And also just the fact that even with the experiences that the alums share, you can apply that to any part of your life, even if it's like outside of music or whatever. It's like you just are able to learn and grow from every experience. And I think that is truly a gem.
Yeah. The other thing is that last year I got a puppy.
What?
He's a pit bull and his name is Richard.
Yes.
My wife calls him Mr. Worldwide. And Richard likes to just break into the office when I'm recording. So sometimes you're probably going to hear a little growl or something. And that's just because he is a gigantic dog who thinks he's a Chihuahua. So stay tuned for that this season too.
He's a sweet dog. But yes. Okay, boss. So catch them up. Like, what has gone on since our little hiatus between these 2 seasons, season 2 and season 3?
All right. So we had another season of awards where we were nominated for some awards and we received some awards. I was nominated for a Brassy this year. I think this is my 3rd year in a row that I was nominated for a Brassy. And instead of just telling you what happened, we have a clip. All right, Jaquel, the moment of truth.
Right,
let's see if it happens this year.
It better.
Ah, damn it! Come on! Can't catch a break. Yep. So
Womp, womp, womp.
I honestly don't even remember what the award was for. It was, you nominated me for like a manager award, right? Or a supervisor
I definitely
award?
nominated you for a manager award. And you, as you can hear in the recording, I was like, they better. I meant that. And so now I'm not even going to say what I said. We're just going to continue to support and cheer on everybody else who wins. We are very grateful and proud of all those who are nominated. But I really wanted my boss to win. Like, come on now. Please.
Do you know who Susan Lucci is?
No.
Susan Lucci played Erica Kane in All My Children, and she played it for a very long time, daytime soap opera. And she was constantly nominated for an Emmy. And did you think she won?
Never won?
No, but she is like a soap opera goat. So if I'm going to be the Susan Lucci of the Brassies, then hey, I'm okay with that.
Shout out to Susan Lucci out there. But yeah.
They eventually gave her a Lifetime Achievement Award, which some think is not as legit as the actual award.
Yeah.
But, you know, just if the Brassy committee wanted to give me a Lifetime Achievement Award, I would probably accept it. I would have to talk to my people, but I think that we would accept it.
I think I'm going to try to put this bug in their ear so we can make something work out. Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, it just wasn't your time. But you will have your time, boss. We will.
Yeah. Up on the BPC stage someday. Yeah. We did receive an award from Case. The podcast received an award last year for Case. And if you don't remember what Case is the Council for Advancement and Support of Education. And we received a silver award for our campaign of the Variations Signature Series, which I promoted heavily at the end of last year's episodes. That was a campaign that followed Evan Nackimson in New York, Sarah Tudson in Los Angeles, and Di Edwardsbury, aka Neon Black, in Atlanta. And I followed them around preparing for various jobs in the music industry, preparing for shows, playing music, and we had a bit of a treatment of color and black and white and tried to make it very filmic to show what it's like to really be in the moment of working in your career in music. So that was really cool to be recognized for that.
Great work.
And here's a little clip of some sound from those videos.
You know, I have friends who have been doing really well and have had some pretty good major success. It's kind of hard not to be like, yo, I want to do that. Why am I not doing that? And that was a bitter pill to swallow. But after having like some really good conversations with people, they're like, yo, we don't do this full time. We're not playing House of Blues every night. And I was like, what? You guys have jobs? This makes me feel so much better. I ended up linking up with this small label that's in North Carolina. They said, sure, we'll put it out. And then it kind of like weirdly took off. And all of a sudden I found myself constantly on tour and playing all over the country and getting asked to do support slots for bigger bands. And suddenly the band was like my job also. And the freelance work really started to pick up. So it was a sort of windy road, but mostly I think I just am here because I was impatient.
Looking back, all the nights and times I've spent just spiraling in self-doubt and beating myself up for not being creative at a certain moment or not being productive or holding myself in was not beneficial. I'm trying to move forward with curiosity and lightness, just letting it evolve and shape on its own while still having my hopes and dreams, but not allowing that to really ruin the joy.
And if you are interested in hearing more, you can go to youtube.com/Berklee Alumni, and you can check out our Variations Signature Series playlist.
Yep.
And that's it for awards this year.
Cheers to more success, boss. As we are heading into this next season, let's just continue to just do our thing.
Absolutely.
So speaking of this next season, season 3 is going to be an amazing season. And we actually have a great opener today. Who is going to be our opening episode of the season?
Our opener for this season is alumnus Charlie Puth who received a Alumni Achievement Award last semester.
Yes. It was such a great pleasure to interview Charlie. I mean, I feel like the whole interview, he was so like, I don't want to say laid back, but just like you can relate to him. He was just like really chill. And as everyone knows, he is such a music connoisseur. Like he lives and breathes music. Like the way that he can just hear frequencies and he does like a little like boom cat or something, like a humming thing. You'll see when you listen to it, but it's really cool to see him in his element.
Yeah. And the other thing that I really enjoyed about him was that, and you see this with some alumni when they come back, is that they really feel like they're at home again. And just this kind of like sereneness, I would say, of like, I'm back where I know I belong, and I'm really excited to see everybody again and talk to students and talk about music. We had a great conversation, and whenever I'm able to ask a question about counterpoint, I think we're going deep into the music.
Yes, they are definitely going deeper into the music, and I'm just there cheering them on. And we also got the opportunity to ask him some rapid questions, which was also like one of my favorite parts of the episode. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, that reminds me, because you said rapid questions, so we have to have the rapid question sound effect. And that also means that this is our first episode without Jonah, who graduated last semester. But now our new student employee who will be editing these podcasts is Laura. And Laura and Jonah worked together last year to make sure that we had a seamless crossover. So instead of calling out for sound effects from Jonah, we'll be calling out for sound effects from Laura.
Yes, thank you, Laura. All right, well, here is the episode with Charlie Puth. So how does it feel to be back on campus and to be recognized by Berklee? I know it's different now that you've seen all these different, not everything is the same. You see new food places, no more fountain, but how
Taco
else are you
Bell
feeling?
right on Boylston.
Right, yeah.
It feels very nice. I always feel a little strange being honored, if I'm going to be completely honest, only because I still feel like I'm learning things every day. I don't know if I have all the answers. I don't think people are expecting me to have all the answers, and it's nice being here and being honored. But I also feel like I was just waiting online to get in 150 Mass Ave with my baby Benadryl, so I'd calm down because I was so anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I am very happy to be here. I don't know all the answers, but I look forward to learning them.
Absolutely.
Well, it's lifelong learning is what we talk about now.
Absolutely.
That's what we try to do with the alumni through the stuff that we have, is to give them, services, support, opportunity to learn new things. I mean, it's not like the industry is like carpentry where like you're, once you have the understanding, you can just go through, Yeah. It's always changing.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone's looking for all the answers. I think you have a lot of wisdom, though.
Oh, no, listen, I'm very happy to. You guys still have like the songwriting classes and everything. I'd imagine that's a good example, the carpentry example. I'd imagine that like writing a song in 2010 is completely different than writing a song in 2025 now. But maybe not. But it's so, there's so much, I don't know. How do you even teach a songwriting class? That's maybe I'll sit in on one.
What were some alumni you looked up to as a student?
Quincy Jones. I mean, the obvious John Mayer example. And having got to know him throughout my career is it's surreal. It's surreal being here and surreal saying these names. I mean, I knew Quincy very well. I would see him very frequently. And the fact that I can even say that is crazy in itself.
It's amazing for sure.
But even Lueve, excellent singer. Really, and all of the new up and coming acts. I mean, there might be. It's surreal to think about that. There's going to be new and up and coming acts just like coming out of the school that'll probably like pop off next year.
Yeah, for sure. You just never know here with the students here. But can you speak more about your experience and your time with Quincy Jones? I did see on your Instagram that you was able to play with him on the piano. How was that?
I had been lucky enough to know him for half a decade. And he would always say to me something very interesting, where if you're that jazz is innately in pop music. He obviously started out as a jazz musician and working with like Nelson Riddle and Frank and et cetera, but always had a strong yearn to make pop music. And Quincy was always like, if you make it too commercial and like it sounds like a shampoo commercial, unless that's like music you're trying to make. If it's too commercial, everyone's going to sniff it out and call bullshit on that. Can I say bullshit on here?
Yeah,
bullshit.
You can say whatever you want to.
If you make it too artistically, like for yourself and like no one's understanding me, I'm going to sit on the Berklee beach. They still call it the Berklee beach?
Yes, I think so.
Some people do. I try to keep it around.
I'm going to smoke my cigarettes and just stay on the Berklee beach, and I don't care if people like, and great if that's what you want, but like most of us want to be appreciated for all the hard work we put into our art. So if you get it right in the middle and make it commercially appealing, but not too much, and super based in the truth, and it's just right there in the middle, you're gonna have something perfect. And that's something that he always told me, and it's something that I consider when I'm making any record for myself or for any other artist.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I mean, even this record that I'm making now, it's like I wanted it to be dipped in so much truth that it's almost like hard for me to critique. I'm like, oh well, this is a real thing that happened to me, and it just happens to have melody to it. How can I judge this? This is really what happened.
Wow, that's deep.
But yeah, we're getting deep on Boylston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has your experience at Berklee helped you in your career?
How has my experience at Berklee helped my career? This is where everybody's just putting their hands on the table and
all eyes on you.
Yeah. It's really the people that I met at Berklee. I mean, there's amazing teachers. The teachers and them showing me ways of how, like Scarlett Keys. Is Scarlett Keys still here?
Yeah,
Scarlett Keys is a wonderful, wonderful songwriting teacher, and presenting different ways of how to rhyme different words and like different phrases of like phrases like what she did for what really stood out to me and taking her classes, that she would introduce the concept of like putting forth uncomfortable phrases that you might not normally sing about, and just instead of shooing them away, like really taking a stab at writing with them, or collaborating with someone who might have a different perspective on them, and really push myself lyrically. That's something that she helped me do early on. So I'm thankful for my teachers, every teacher that I met here. You were around the hustle, which is I wasn't getting that in my small town in New Jersey, and I feel like people would feel the same about their small town. So it's nice being around a bunch of students.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll feel that today when I walk around too.
Sure.
Like it's nice to be like, now that I've quote made it, it's sometimes easy to feel jaded. I'm not even gonna like pretend. Like sometimes like the car didn't show up on time. It's like, you have a car service. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
It's you're going to the Fox lot. Like, you've always dreamed of having like all of this. So it's just like, once you catch yourself, you're like, okay, you're in the industry you've always wanted to be in, and everyone here is on their way to that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I found that successful people are the most optimistic for like the next generation to come up. And when I first started here, I was like, maybe that's uninformed, but I think that it's now like, I think successful people can see the values that are important for students, and it's that optimism, resiliency. You need all that. We talk all the time about being able to stay in the game long enough to get your moment, you know? And I think that's the thing that is a theme that comes out of all of our interviews too.
Well, smart, successful people will not ever admit that they don't know everything. I literally started this interview.
Absolutely.
But I will never know everything. There's somebody in class right now who knows how to do key commands in Pro Tools better than me. Someone knows how to manipulate sounds in Ableton better than me. There's someone who probably has an interesting, like, a phrase that I haven't thought of before. They're all here. There's a lot of colleges around Boston. Maybe they're elsewhere too, but like I feel like the most concentration is everybody right here. And I have many months sometimes where I forget how to even write a song. So you have to be around people, young and old, everything in between, just everybody who's just motivated to just get their stuff out there, because they're going to inspire you energetically.
Right. And it's also, like you said, it's just important to want to learn, right? Like, you got to want to learn, because like you said, you can never know everything. There's always something to know and to learn.
Absolutely. Where were we? We're at Conway Recording Studios in Hollywood, St. Andrews Place in Melrose. Really legendary, awesome studio in Hollywood where I always record at the end of the album, like all the horns and orchestras and stuff. And I have this really talented guitar player named Curtis who I hadn't met before, and he's killing it. He's all my splice loops, I'm taking them out, I'm replacing them with like the live recordings of Curtis. He's really, really killing it. I'm just so in the zone. I didn't even know that he was a record producer and an amazing singer as well. Wow. You'll hear him all over this next project, but I'm using the LA3A and putting it on, which is just a plug-in. Well, it's an actual piece of gear, but I'm using the plug-in. Mm-hmm. And I'm putting it on his guitar, and it has a really slow attack, and it's catching all the peaks and sounds good. And he didn't say anything. But you know, like when you can tell someone wants to like say something, and they're just like in the corner, and like their lips contort in,
biting their tongue.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Can I make a suggestion?" And I'm like, "Yes, absolutely, you can make a suggestion." Like, he was like, "Bah humbug! I know everything." He thought, I think because how would he know? Like, we just met each other like an hour ago, and he was like, "If the LA3A is great on vocals, which I see you have in your session there. But have you ever decided to put the 1176 on my guitar? It has a fast attack, and it'll kind of catch all the peaks and be a little punchier." I'm like, "No, why don't I ever use the 1176? And then I put it on, it sounds so much better. And I'm putting the Pro Q3 after the compression because I think it sounds good. He was like, "You should maybe put it before." And I'm like, "Wait, that's great. I've done that before, but now I'm going to do this now." And someone told me one time to put an NS1 at the beginning of the chain to like take away all like the, now I'm, blabbing about like production stuff.
It's all right. You're in the right place.
Yeah.
I definitely am in the sun came out. That means that somebody likes it. But I'm just, my point is I'm open to every suggestion. That's why Max Martin is still, he'll always have the most amount of hit records. Again, if you aspire to have hit records, that's not, it's one size does not fit all. But he surrounds himself with new talent all the time, and people who just got signed. I was working with a new artist at the time, and he came in and spent 2 hours with us. He's not above anything. You can't have that mindset ever if you're making art.
What's the idea of being collaborative too? I've just encountered so many people that like don't know how to do that. They have something in their head, and that's the way it has to be. And if you go around and you're trying to explain, well, maybe you might want to try this, it's just like, no, it's
right.
This.
Well, it used to be me. I'm not even. I'm telling the whole truth right now. It literally used to be me. In 2010, I was like, I can sing and write and produce all of these records, and they were not good. I hope nobody hears those early records. 10 people search for it.
Yeah.
What made you change from that mindset?
Teachers and Cara Diaguardi was doing she was teaching a class here in 2011. She was like, "Dog, your lyrics suck. Ass." I think I have the email. She was like, "Your lyrics are not good. You need to collaborate with someone who, like, you're the melody guy. We get it, but like, you need to collaborate with somebody who will give you better lyrics, and then over time you'll learn how to make tap into yourself to bring out the correct lyrics." And being a 21-year-old kid, right, like spunky, who was just like on TV and thinks that he has everything figured out, I was like, bah humbug. I'm typing right now for everybody that can't. I'm pretending to type right now. I know everything. I really did think that for a while, and until someone showed me a different way to do things, and working with better producers and a little bit more slick in some areas, but where they lacked, I was better and in some areas, and we helped each other. That's what collaboration is. I would have never written See You Again by myself. Someone helped me get that out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get beaten down a little.
Absolutely.
You need to.
Well, the ego needs to get beaten down, not physically.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I am a black belt in karate.
Yeah, I'm going to back up a little bit over here.
I've definitely gotten beat up. You know, of course you're thinking like, oh yeah, I got this.
You're a black belt?
Yes.
How long did it take to achieve that?
It took me about like 8 to 9 years.
Oh my gosh.
Charlie, this is an exclusive because she swore me to secrecy on this for years.
I know. I think it's because Charlie's here. I think I'm just letting secrets out.
No, but that's a great thing you can kick anyone's ass. Like,
yeah, don't mess with me. Just kidding. Not you. I'm talking about the listeners.
I listen. I won't.
His bodyguards out there. I don't want no part.
I don't think he knows. Oh no, he knows Muay Thai, which is like
okay.
I think. But I think you guys could go to.
I don't want no smoke.
Here, let's skip Career Jam and we'll just have
what?
film you going head to head with Ed.
Berklee Fight Club.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to go back and talk about when you were saying how YouTube was like one of the biggest things when your time on campus.
Yeah.
And we see that you use a lot of you use your Instagram as well as TikTok, just kind of like show the process that you go through. So can you explain like the use of technology in this generation's music industry? And what do you feel like is next? If there was like, what is the ideal type of platform you think would be best, if not already existing?
I think the thing that's never going to change is a good song. And if it doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter how many influencers the record label pays to boost the streams, or, it doesn't like, or stream farm. If people do that, they do. It doesn't matter of all like the semantics behind the record. If it's not going to resonate, it's just not going to resonate. And if it doesn't resonate right away, it might resonate at a different time. Didn't remember when Kate Bush had a song from 1987 that just recently Running Up the Hill or something? There's a Janet Jackson record that came out in 2000 that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produced. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. They'll drive a funky car. Like that record is like acting like it just came out yesterday and it's like the biggest smash ever, and people are just discovering it, and now it's traveling up the chart just because it was a good record back then and it's a good record now. I think a lot of I don't think what works anymore, like the straight answer is I don't think having the biggest production quality looking thing, like big explosions in the background and like the slickest looking music video. I think a lot changed after the pandemic, after 2020. People really wanted to see like the realness in people. I don't think that you need to have like the best microphone to show off your best microphone and have the best lighting anymore. It's just it's more about like just the quality of your music, which is good and bad news for people because there's so many more people uploading things every day, and there's like 50,000 songs that come out a day, so there's a lot of competition even for established artists like myself. There's still like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I better not go away for too long. But I just what's reassuring is that like I believe that there's no other me's running out there.
Right. So you're one on one.
So and Khalid's one of one, and so many artists are. Why can't I think of artists right now? There's so many. Think of an artist. They're all one of one. I just said Khalid because he's very talented.
He is. Yes, he is.
I go on Reddit. They have r/crappy music.
Oh yeah,
it is the best because some of it's not crappy. Like it might just be like a cheesy video on top of it or something. And so now I have like a whole playlist of like stuff that people just labeled as crappy. But I think it.
What do they say is like? What's an example of? Because I've never been on that forum before. Like what would be like Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up? Because I remember in the like early 2000s, everyone was like, that song's horrible. That's one of the best songs ever.
Yeah. Or I vehemently defended Hall & Oates to my college roommates for years.
Yeah.
But no, it some of it is singer-songwriter, some of it is like more hip-hop artists.
Hall & Oates has jazz in their music. I saw Daryl Hall recently play at the Santa Barbara Bowl, of all places. And he's in his 80s, and he's singing high notes like he did early in his career. And I can't go for that. Like C major 7, C7, F major, F minor, flat 5, whatever the fuck, I don't know. And he's singing like how he did and back then, and it's taken everybody back because the music at the core is still good. Like he doesn't need a viral moment, but someone in that crowd, I think, had recorded on their phone, and like everybody listen to how good Daryl Hall sounds, and that went completely viral at the Santa Barbara Bowl.
Wow.
So it's like you kind of just like going back to the social media thing. Like I don't know what the next thing is. I actually would hope that people would get off their phones a little bit. Yes. But I think and maybe one day that will be the thing. Is to not
put the phone down.
Put the phone down. It won't be so cool like being glued to your phone. But at the core, it just has to be the content.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, and they've tried those things where you can only post when, I forget what the app was, but you can only post when it's time to post. You have to post what you're doing right there.
That's it. You're just gonna get another phone or something
right,
like that. Like my friend's like, oh, I deleted TikTok and he re-downloads it the next day. He's not doing anything.
No.
We all need our vice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of playlists, Charlie, what are you listening to? What's on your playlist?
Leon Mutt.
Yeah.
That song is so
great song.
I just wrote him the other day because I was late to that song. That's so, you know what's so interesting about that song? It's flat the entire song. If that's an A flat, his is. It's like it gives it like this.
Yeah.
What is it, A432 or something? It's like it's a very calming frequency.
Yes.
And that's another thing that everybody has to kind of do is not make everything in 441. If you want if 50,000 plus songs, I think there's more songs coming out a day. If there's that many songs coming out a day and you want your song to stand out in a playlist, like make it, like pitch the entire thing up or down.
That's an amazing point,
It'll, and then eventually everybody will figure it out and then make their, but it's infinite amount of numbers. Like someone will make it 403 or something. I don't know.
You know that song, I don't want no whips or chains. You know that one?
That was the Jack Harlow record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the original version of that?
On SoundCloud, I know that no, I don't think I have.
You go listen to it because it turns...
It's slower, right?
Oh, yeah. It turns from like some like... In your mind's eye, it turns from like some like young teenage kid singing that song to like Luther Vandross.
Really?
Yeah, no, they sped that and cranked that up so far. It's completely different.
But in a way, that's collaborative because the person who made that original recording, and forgive me, I don't know the name of that artist or the original recording name, but they would probably never imagine Jack getting on like a trip hop beat like that,
right?
Kind of, nudging at the motto a little bit, but it's Drake, the motto. No one's he never thought that his song would be in a hip hop record like that, but someone heard that. And that one section, you're saying that every other section after that doesn't sound like.
No, it's completely different.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's two like creative genius minds like coming together. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Collaboration.
We need it.
Keyword of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Are you waiting for me to ask questions? She's been doing this to me all day.
I was going to give you the floor.
Day.
I've been asking questions. This is collaborative. Hello.
The thing is,
basking in this wonderful advice that I'm giving. I know it's very overwhelming that I'm here.
She is supposed to stick to the script, and I'm the one who's supposed to throw us off.
I'm sorry. That's just the roles of us.
Y'all can. We're here to talk about whatever you like. The fact that there's no teriyaki house anymore, or. No, I love music so much, and I look forward to walking around campus and just I love being handed a thumb drive. Do they still call it thumb drives, even USB-Cs? I love hearing music from people that are about to be in the music industry but aren't like jaded from like the music industry isms, because you can get really caught in it. I want to be around people who, because I feel like I got signed yesterday and I'm making the best album I've ever made right now, and I just get so excited thinking about it. I promise I'm not jaded at all. I just like to be around students and teachers and people that just want to create because they're not concerned about the success of it. They just want to be in it. And that's and if you can maintain that while you're successful, that's like you'll be doing it forever. Like Quincy was doing. Quincy loved music. David Foster, I talked to David Foster. He loves music. He says, young man, I have a question about trumpets. It's like, it's amazing.
Yeah. And a lot of those people have recreated themselves, you know. Yeah, you go from, Frank Sinatra orchestra to the Dude,
Absolutely. One of the best put together, like Find 100 Ways, James Ingram. One of my favorite snare. Listen to Find 100 Ways by James Ingram. Quincy produced it, and that snares just sits so... The thing with Quincy's music is that there was so much dynamics and everything. It was like, if you wanted... He always told me if he wanted a song to be loud, like the listener can take their hand and turn the volume up. Yeah. It's not about like squishing it with an L2 or slamming and everything and ruining the dynamics or turning all the faders up on the desk. It's just about the volume now. That's when I was mixing attention with Manny, we had the same kind of like goal there. It's like, if it's not going to be the loudest record showing up on Kiss 107, whatever, but doesn't matter. It's going to level out anyway. They're going to, put all the processing they want on it, and it makes your record stand out if it's a little bit more dynamic. I think a lot of indie music has dynamics. I think Claro is an artist I love who Sophia, I think the song that I can ding and do it if we try, da 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 da. It's a great melody, a lot of dynamics in that song. The drums are like, they kind of just like sit in there. I like records where the drums sit. But I also like records where like the drums are like really loud if they have to be loud too. It's kind of all like by design. It's basically the whole point of this podcast is just do whatever you want and love doing it and don't care what anybody else has to say, because the minute you play your demo to somebody and they offer an opinion that you didn't like, it's going to ruin your day. Just be proud of it.
Yeah.
This reminds me, we had Mark Kelly, the bass player for The Roots. Yeah. And he was talking about that, like sitting back on the beat and just learning from like the Dilla hip hop and stuff like that. And then him and Will Calhoun hanging out and just geeking out over drums and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, I saw something that Bernard Purdie had played on Beatles records. I saw that video there. Is that true? We all have the same feed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That blew my mind the other day. I didn't know he said that Ringo didn't play on anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
Was he joking? I don't know. Maybe someone was screaming at their computer right now. I'm not sure. He wasn't.
So Charlie, fast forward 10 years from now, right? Where in the industry are you in 10 years? Like, what does that look like for you?
For me, I'd love to continue touring and playing shows around the world like I'm so lucky to do, and maybe help another artist out, kind of bring some potential out of them that they didn't know that they had. And every time I write for another artist, it's like, oh, Charlie did it, and those are his chords. I want to, like, in the next 10 years, I think I can do it in at least one. I want to make a record that like nobody knows that I had a hand in, but it resonates with a lot of people, and that it sounds like that artist, and like we create a sound kind of like how Tim and Missy did for like Aaliyah. Ooh. And like there's like that very specific Virginia sound. Like I want to not invent a style of music, but like maybe just something super specific for an artist. That would be a good goal to, maybe the artist is here.
Maybe. That's real
I sound
creative.
like American Idol. Maybe you're here.
Who needs a ticket?
My recommendation would be only flugelhorn.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, it'll put you in a box that you got to get out of.
Like like you got to make drums with flugelhorn. Do you know the song "Kiss" by Prince?
Oh yeah.
That little you know the story behind that. It's an acoustic guitar playing A major that they key sidechain compress to a like starry sounding synth off the Prophet or something, or probably the Oberheim. And they, you know what I mean? Like they keyed it so every time the acoustic guitar would play, it would trigger the synth. So that's why if you listen to that record now, that's not someone playing that on there's so much velocity, and that's not someone playing that on the keyboard. So, I mean, going back to your flugelhorn thing, I could make a fucking record with just flugelhorn and key side chain compress it to a Linn drum or whatever. And like, but whatever's clever. I don't know.
Right.
If you're an artist listening to this, if you play your flugelhorn or you should be distinct, not worry about being like having the most chops. I certainly can't play like McCoy Tyner. Like people can play circles around me, but I just like chords.
Right.
And that's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know your space.
I mean, in being okay with that too, while trying to challenge yourself in other areas.
Yeah, say it louder for the people in the back. Being okay with that. Everybody listening to this right now should be okay with what their talent ability is. Like, don't like be envious that like so and so can like shred on a like 180 like anime like guitar solo. Just be happy with what you have, or collaborate with them and show them something.
Right.
Absolutely. So we have a series of called rapid questions.
Oh boy.
So so
yes,
we're gonna ask you some rapid fire questions, and you just tell us what comes to your mind.
the first thing.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
And then we're going back and forth here.
Publicist is sweating.
All right. So to start us off, what song reminds you of your time at Berklee?
Ooh, what is it called? Skrillex. It goes Benny Benassi and Skrillex Cinema remix. I remember hearing dubstep for the first time in my friend's fancy hotel room in the Mandarin Oriental, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? That snare, this like insane." And Skrillex just played. Sonny just played Ultra right now, so everything's full circle. He hadn't played that stage in 10 years, so. I'm not making it rapid fire. Skrillex. That's what reminds me of 2010.
Okay. What was your go-to restaurant around campus?
Teriyaki House, R.I.P. Although I think it just moved locations.
There is one in Southie. That was my go-to.
And Kowloon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Take the drive out. In Saugus, Mass.
We did that during the pandemic. We were like, we need something.
Oh, there's nothing like some dumplings and like a tiki like drink.
Yeah.
From a tiki bar.
What is the best dish you can cook by yourself?
Oh, nothing. I go on TikTok and look up recipes and I just fuck them all up.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad.
That's okay. Do you and your wife cook?
My wife is a wonderful cook, and
nice.
thank goodness for that.
Right.
I can cook up a song, and she'll come into the studio and be like, there was nothing playing on these speakers an hour ago. And Brooke is so good. Brooke is so good at so many things. The fact that she can put an outfit together, she makes me look better. She was like, please don't wear this.
What is your favorite scented candle?
Oh, it's really easy to remember. It's by Diptyque and it's called For the Boys. Well, it's actually called Fur de Boys.
Okay.
But look up For the Boys.
For the Boys.
It smells like woodsy. I think they have it at one of those fancy stores in that mall over there.
Okay.
Name your dream collab.
Dream collab. I mean, I haven't worked with Paul McCartney. That would be, but I've worked with Elton John. Every being in the industry is a dream for me. Mm-hmm. My dream collab could be with Mac Ayres, it could be with Elton, it could be with Doja, it could be with Jack, it could be I don't know. And anybody that wants to make music is a dream.
Nice.
I have a better question. E sharp or F flat?
I
broke them. I broke them.
E sharp. The E sharp is F. F flat is F. These are the classes I always got. Did you know I took solfege 3? And yes, it's very obvious that like I have absolute pitch, but like I failed out of that class and I had to go down, and it was so frustrating because I could read all the notes on the paper, but I couldn't sing the solfege. So like I know the feeling of these chords, but I don't know how to write.
Yeah.
I think don't tell Berklee, but I think I forgot how to like write notes down, like write music down. I just literally like if I'm we recorded this gospel choir for this record. I'm putting the speed bumps on this rapid fire, but I think it's interesting. I forgot how to write manuscript notes, so I just wrote A, C sharp, E, G sharp, B, and then they sang it, and they were really, really tired, and we went way over union hours.
Oh God! How were you at Counterpoint?
Just also very bad.
Yeah.
And I would always look for the students who were really good at it and try and get better at it. I never did.
I was in high school. I had a music theory teacher. My plan was to go to Berklee, and we were doing counterpoint. I needed a lot of help, but he wanted to keep talking about how the fluorescent light in the ceiling was a B flat, and so that if you go to a B flat, you should be able to find this. And I was like, hey, could we go back to the counterpoint?
Sounds like me on the internet in 2022.
Okay, 2 more questions. If you could teach a class at Berklee, what subject would it be?
It would be a much needed be yourself class. I think in that it's really important what you learn. I'm not trying to like make a complicated answer here, even though it's innately going to be, but like it's definitely not counterpoint. I'm not teaching a counterpoint class. I just don't know if you can. I respect everybody who teaches the songwriting in the songwriting curriculum, but that like changes. It's not so black and white, and they agree with me too. It's just they're suggesting different ways on how to write a song, but I don't think you should ever let that affect your artistry or whatever you're trying to do. So if there's like maybe it's like a 15-minute addition add-on to a class, like you take the class, you learn all the bits of information that the genius teachers are teaching you in their genius way, and then if you stay for an extra 15 minutes, just be reminded that like you are a special individual, and there's you have your own thumbprint and your own voice. Like right. No one, that would be, I don't know what that class is called. Maybe no one would want to show up.
No, they would show up for sure.
Last question. I'm calling an audible, and I'm changing it based on this question. If you were a professor, would you be the type of professor to say, let's have class outside today?
If it's not like 32 degrees of New England winter.
No snow.
I mean, I guess what would the point of, are we going to Commonwealth Park or something? What is the point of being outside?
Do you see a point to do it?
I would say that the point would be to make a song out of like all the horns beeping and people cursing at each other in the Boston streets.
Right. There is a lot of that going on.
I know you can make music out of that.
But there is a lot to be inspired.
And we're back. That was our episode with Charlie Puth. Boss, what did you think?
It was just really nice to listen back to that, and just, it was a really effortless discussion about what Charlie's philosophy has been, what his interests have been, as he's progressed throughout his career and his artistry, and to just really have like those great music conversations is it's refreshing in a sense of that's why we're all here, isn't it? To sometimes have our moments where we can celebrate our successes, but also to kind of geek out on some musical elements, and to also just talk about the possibilities of where we're going. I think that I really liked Charlie talking about how after everything that he's accomplished, he is most looking forward to challenging himself. When he said that he'd like to write for someone and have someone not say like, oh, that's a Charlie Puth song, but I think it was really fun to just listen to someone who's clearly thought out a lot about their craft and to be able to articulate that much better than what I'm doing now.
I agree with the word refreshing. I mean, we have fun in all of our interviews, but it was such a hectic day during this interview that having him after that hectic day, it was like, okay, this is great. I feel good. So that was cool. I also appreciated his input of the use of social media and music, how he currently uses that for him and what he sees for the future of that. I think that that's super important, with all these talks of AI and social media is just continuing to develop and stuff. So I just feel like those are some great pointers that our listeners can learn from. So yes, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have this sit down conversation and just learn a lot. And like you said, geeked out about music, but then also just have some funny points. There was a lot of laughs, which I appreciate as well. So very cool.
And to go on what you're saying about that being a busy day, you're going to have to stay tuned for episode 3 for us to break that down, because the next episode is going to be very different and very special.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't want to give it away. You guys know I love a good secret. But
this one is so good that even I'm okay with holding it on and teasing it.
Yes. So stay tuned, because greatness is just coming on the way. And to play us out, we have a song called Sway by alum Kelsey Blackstone, class of 2021.
Thank you, everybody, and stay tuned for next week. It's going to be a super special episode.
A super special, super 3 times 1,000. Just kidding. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and see you soon.
Opposite ends, that's where we always meet. Hey, you say you don't like the song, but baby, I like the beat. Oh, you want us to leave, but I want to stay. I ask you to dance, and you walk away. Let's slow it down and like this. You live in tomorrow, but I'm here today. I love who you are when the stress melts away. Okay, close your eyes, breathe with me. Take my hands, set us slowing down and
Pass the Mic is brought to you by Berklee's Office of Alumni Affairs, produced by Jaquel Ely and Patrick Pharma, and edited by Laura Lavalva. Our mascot is Mingus the Jazz Cat.